For today's channel member Tuesday video, my members have decided that my inner botanist needs to get his hands dirty, and that's because the add-on that we're revealing for channel members Tuesday is the gardening add-on by Podcrash. Coming in at 660 mine tokens, this add-on takes up 15 megabytes of size. But will our meadows be vibrant and alive, or are they destined to be dull and dying? Let's find out. Just before we jump into today's video, I wanted to let you know that this video is intended to be a first look reveal and not a full tutorial or an actual playthrough. I'm going to be exploring the add-on for the first time, and you're going to see my genuine reactions and thoughts as we go through it. I'll lay out every block and item that I can find to show you just how much content you get for your minecoins, and I'll talk through what I think stands out, what might need work, and what my general overall impressions are. There are timestamps down below in the description, so feel free to jump around to the sections that interest you most. Let's go. And so when you load into a brand new world, you're given the gardening guidebook, and you're also given a botanical lexicon, which we'll get into a little later. If we load in the guidebook, we can see it says gardening add-on created by Podcrash. The gardening add-on adds over 290 new plants that will generate naturally into your world. Now, if they're going to mention numbers, let me mention a few numbers here just to really show you the quantity of items and products and blocks that you're getting in this add-on. You get 293 different plants, flowers, vines, and overall greenery. There are 52 flower pots along with another 12 extra window type flower pots, essentially 64 in total. There are 9 different path blocks, each with 4 different variations, so work that one out if you're good at maths. And there are 63 decorations as well. You also get mobs, custom structure generation, items. There's a lot here for 660 mine tokens, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If we get back to the book then, it says pick up your botanical lexicon and keep track of how many flowers you discover whilst adventuring. There is a slight difference in gameplay element here, which is absolutely amazing if you're into this sort of thing. We'll look at the lexicon shortly. You can find brand new cottages where gardeners can be found to share and trade exotic and rare flowers. You can build your own cottage with, they claim, 65 new custom flower pots, so I could have potentially missed one. And they are compatible with both vanilla and custom plants. You can craft a new book if you lose it, and you can get guidance at that website there. Now you've got decorations, and it shows you a lot of information about a lot of the decorations here. So you can see we've got wooden benches, we've got wooden tables, we've got wooden picket fences, and we've got wooden bird houses, along with a bird bath, stone paths, there's a lantern post, a water pump, and there is even a garden gnome as well. I'm not going to read all of that, that's a lot of text, but it's there. We've got flower pots, we've got coloured flower pots, coloured wide flower pots, there's a coloured tall flower pot, there's wooden window boxes, there's a metal flower pot as well, and there's a hanging flower pot too. We've also then got cottages. Now this one I will read. Cottages are structures that can randomly generate within your world in the forest and plains biomes. There are 4 different types of cottage. Up to 4 additional buildings can also generate alongside from a selection of 14 unique structures. A lot of numbers here, but you can get 4 different types of cottages in 4 different variations. The maths are just crazy here. There's a lot. There genuinely is. The cottage is home to the gardener who loves flowers and plants. You speak to the gardener to see what plants he's willing to trade with you, essentially the same way that you would deal with a wandering trader. And then after that, we've also got other. So there's a thing called mysterious seeds, which we'll look at shortly. There's a lawnmower, which we'll look at shortly. There's a watering can as well. The gardener, there's even a mole. There's birds. There's loamy sand. And loamy sand appears in patches in deserts. and it has just enough nutrients to allow flowers to grow on it, which brings life to your deserts, which means that you can plant flowers in the desert quite easily using loamy sand. So they've even thought about people who like to live in a desert, and the loamy sand can be turned into bricks in a furnace as well. So just making it super gameplay, which is awesome. And then for the Botanical Lexicon, you can load up the Botanical Lexicon, which will take some time. There is a lot of information here. And it says, welcome to the Botanical Lexicon. This book contains information about every plant in the game, including when and where you discovered them. You've currently discovered 362 out of 369 plants, which is just mental when you think about it. This also includes the vanilla Minecraft flowers and plants and crops and saplings in that number as well, which is why it's higher than the number that I said. But you can see on here the full list of everything. And when you've seen it, it turns green. I'll show you that in the experience section. It's red when you haven't seen it. But yeah, a full list of absolutely every flower, vanilla, and from the gardening add-on. And if the add-on is compatible, even custom flowers as well. It's just absolutely crazy, but just tons. I mean, we're not even halfway down here. And like I said, this add-on, the lexicon included in this add-on, has filters because you can include plants from other add-ons if they have compatibilized it. The words are not really working today, but if the add-on works with the gardening add-on, their plants will also come into here. So you can filter the lexicon to include plants from Minecraft, include plants from other add-ons, include plants from gardening, include different style of stuff here. And if you keep going down, you can even do colors, you can do saplings, crops, water plants. And if you filter these all out, you can make it change in the lexicon as well. So it's easier for you to see. It comes up with the nice little message to say it may take a few moments, but then you just go back down it again and it will just show you the ones that you've selected. I'm not going to go back down it all again, but yeah, that's what it is. It says all plants added by this add-on can be bone milled, allowing them to grow and drop another of their kind, similar to standard gameplay mechanics in Minecraft. And if you lose the book, you can craft a new one. And then it says, like I said, other add-ons can also add plants to the lexicon. However, it's up to them. So you may not find plants from other add-ons here by default, but there is a website that will explain that for you. But essentially, it's not up to Podcrash to make other add-ons work with gardening. It's up to the other add-on to make their add-on work with gardening. I hope that will make sense. I've rabbited on for too long. Let's have a look at all of the different flowers that you get in this add-on. Hey, did you know this channel isn't all there is? I also have a second channel called Dazman Reacts, where I react to other Minecraft content, trailers, pack combinations, creator interviews, and even the Minecraft Marketplace weekly update. I also have the Dazman Plays channel, where I play other non-Minecraft games of all age ranges. I have a Dazman Football channel and a Dazman Wrestling channel for those games and topics as well, and I also have a very small TikTok account at Dazman TikTok. And finally, I have my website, the Dazman Blogs website at dazmanblogs.blogspot.com, where I'm building a texture pack database, an actions and stuff compatibility list, written texture pack summaries, a very loose podcast, and even more. So support me in various places by liking, commenting, subscribing, following, and visiting in as many places as possible. And so we're going to start by looking at the flowers then. And for this video, flowers are definitely going to count as blocks. And really, if we just look here for a second, just focus on this area here to begin with, right? That is 293 different blocks. It really puts into like comparison, it really puts into perspective how little 293 can look, but it's massive. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to go and click on every single flower here. What I am going to do is I'm going to focus on the longest line, which is this pink one here. And I'm going to just go up them to show you what different types of flowers you get. There are some variations in colors across, and then there'll be some hidden gems here as well. We will fly over and look at all of them, but in terms of naming them all, we're just going to go up the pink one. So we have some daylily, we have some dahlia, we have some plumeria, some bushes, butterfly bushes. There's a hellebore. There's a hydrangea. You guys think I struggle with dinosaur names? Here we go. There's a lotus, a geranium. We've got a gladiolus. There's a stargazer lily, an amaryllis, a zinnia, a verbena, a Venus slipper, a tuberose, I don't know, a sweet pea. I'm not a botanist, I'll be honest with you. A status. There is also a snapdragon, a ranunculus, sure, a primrose, a phlox, a petunia, a passion flower, a pansy, a oleander. We get nasturtium. There's a magnolia in here as well. There's a calancho. We get irises, gillyflowers, gardenias, freesias, daffodils. At this point, some of these are just letters next to each other. Coneflower, cosmoses, coreopsis, clivia. We get an orchid, clematis. There's a chrysanthemum. We've got carnations, cape daisies, begonias, asters, arum lilies, angel trumpets, anemones, selines. There's a queen of the prairie. We get meadow rose, mallows, lobelia, hibiscus. There's also a foxtail lily, a foxglove, and then we also have delphiniums. And so I'm not going to go through every name. There'll be a few in different colors that aren't included in the pink, because you can tell that just from the different lengths of the colors here. But there'll also be a lot in the pink that aren't in anything else. So what we can do here is just kind of fly over all of the different flowers. You can see I've tried to just put them through the colors. So you've got the pinks, the yellows, the whites, the purples, the reds, the blues, and the oranges, I believe it was. But you can see there are different shades of colors here as well. It's not just one standard yellow. It's not just one standard white. There's some good color blending, some good differences in colors as well, which I think is really, really cool. So hopefully you're okay with me doing this. I thought this would be better than me clicking on 200 different flowers and just showing them all to you. I really like that they capture that kind of Minecraft artistic style. Like you've got the 2 block high ones, you've got the 1 block high ones, you've got some bunches, you've got some singles, but they all kind of keep that same art style that you would see in Minecraft, which I think is very, very good. And I think when we look at the experience section and we go into an actual world, we see the custom generations, we'll be able to see how well they blend in with your tulips, your lily of the valleys, and all other types of flowers as well. If we come over here, we'll go down the purple line now. Again, I really think there's some good colors and some good shading on here. You've got light purples, dark purples, purple and yellow, purple and white, purple and green, purple and blue. I do like that. It would be very easy to just stick to one solid purple or one solid yellow, and they haven't done that. They've added that variation. They've taken the care, in my opinion, and I think that's really, really good. And while we're doing this as well, a lot should be said, not only about the price. 660 mine tokens here is not bad at all. That right there, by the way, for anybody who's wondering, that's a yucca. And then this right here is a green hellebore. But 660 mine tokens is an amazing price for the amount of content that we get here. From what I can tell, there's one entity that is like a block or an item, but it's actually an entity, which isn't bad. It's not terrible for people who don't like entities. And you know what? You don't need to use it. It doesn't randomly spawn. It's something that you would choose yourself. We'll get to that later, but I do think 660 mine tokens is an absolute steal for something like this. If you're into flowers, if you want more wildlife and more just life in general in your world, I think you do really well to get an add-on like this. And a lot needs to be said. They know, Podcrash know that this add-on is a gardening add-on, right? They're not trying to be a gardening add-on with 150 tools, 7 different armor sets, and some magic enchantments. They know they're a gardening add-on, and they stick to it. And that is a very good final product in terms of it being focused, I think, which is very nice. So we pop around here. We've also got a different lily pad here. This is a lotus lily pad. I believe this can even flower. I don't know if it does. Yeah, there's some different variations on this one for the different lily, and there's the flowering one there as well. If we go up the blue really quickly here, you can see these two. I was going to do this as like a silent montage, maybe put some music on it, but I thought, no, you know what, we'll talk. We'll use this time to just talk about the add-on and about the amount of content that we're getting in here. Obviously, you have to like flowers. You have to be into flowers. You have to be into making pretty areas and greenery areas, which not everybody is, but then not everybody's into dinosaurs either, and people like dinosaur add-ons. So I think that's very, very cool. As we come to the end of the flowers here, there is also on here, there's some vines or ivies even, and a cool feature about these ivies, if we go around the other side. So if I place this down here, that's one type, but you can repeatedly add to it like so, and it will grow out the block until you hit that, which is the final one, place underneath, and that's cool. But I thought that was really cool that you could just add to it and just make it like a living thing. That's awesome in my opinion. I don't know if they grow naturally because of it being a flat world and just being a showcase world. So that one you'll have to tell me. But I think being able to grow them out and have different densities is cool. And then also we have a 3-leaf clover and a 4-leaf clover on the floor here as well. If I can pick it. For some reason I can't pick it. That's a 3-leaf clover. Oh, why did I not get the 4-leaf clover? That's weird. Let's go F-O-U. Grab that one. And then place that down. And there's the 4-leaf clover. For some reason it wasn't showing it. So yeah, those are all of the different flowers that you get. But like I said, flowers are just the tip of the iceberg. You see, we've got path blocks here as well. So we get a tough path in 4 different variations here. You place it down and it will choose one. Break it, place it down, and it will rotate. So you can just decide what type of path you want here, which is cool. We then also have the same in cobble deep slate, cobblestone, there's granite, deep slate, stone, mossy cobblestone, where, to be fair, there isn't a ton of moss on that. There's some, but maybe because it's blending in on my grass, it's probably a little bit worse for wear. Maybe if we go over here, let's just try this. Let's place that down and do this. Oh, no, yeah, no, there's definitely some good mossy there. There we go. It gives off a nice little effect as well for what we're seeing in vibrant visual texture packs at the moment with the bumps and the raises. It's a nice little effect there, obviously just on the top, but that's kind of cool. We'll pop over here. Where was we? Mossy cobblestone. We've also got diorite, and then we've got andesite as well for the paths. We then also have a bird bath, like so. We've got a water pump. Now, the water pump I wanted to check. Can I interact with it? Oh, you can, sort of. You can actually pump water, which is quite a nice little effect there. I don't know if you can do anything with that, but that's kind of cool. I like that. We get a little garden gnome. This right here is Domy. How you doing, buddy? And we also get a lantern post, which if I grab a lantern real quick, because I'm forever prepared, like so, we'll grab one of those. Let's throw that down. Pick that back up. There we go. So we've got the lantern post. We'll place the lantern on it, and it fits perfect on that, which is quite nice. I did want to see as well, can you increase the size of them? You can. So you can stack them up. Oh, wow. Didn't actually think that was going to do that. That's really cool. How high can you go? Is it like infinite? Damn. Okay. That's not bad. You know, that could be a good decorating block. Fair dues. Okay. We also then have the flower pots. So we've got a metal flower pot. We've got wide flower pot and a tall flower pot, which would go very well with a standard flower pot, I believe. Let's just check out that. Where is it? It's up here. Does it blend in okay? A little bit of a difference in how it's rendered, but maybe the slight... Actually, no, I think it renders quite well, actually. Yeah. So that would complete that family. So you've got a standard flower pot, wide flower pot, and tall flower pot. And you have those in all the different colors that are in Minecraft right here, which makes it very good for color coding if that's what you want to do. And if you wanted to place something in it, you just chuck it on there. Chuck that one, say, oh, that might be a butterfly bush, might be too big for that, but a pink hydrogenia, that could go there. We could throw in a pink geranium on there. And then to take it off, you just want to interact with it again. You don't want to punch it, you want to interact. A butterfly bush would go in there though, which is kind of cool. So that's nice. And then over here, to finish it off, in terms of more decorations, we get birdhouses, we've got a table, we've got a bench. Now, a cool thing about the bench, if you interact on the bench, you can sit on it, which is nice. How you doing? You don't need to sit on everything had on here. You can just sit. Awesome. And another thing as well, if you put two together, it loses that middle bit and extends as a wider bench. If you do three, that also extends. And again, we can kind of try and see how far we could maybe take this. If we come over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't let me sit in the middle, okay? That will break, I promise you. So you don't, like, I'm gonna stay over here where there's some support. But that was kind of cool. One other thing I noticed as well is if you put two different types next to each other, they won't do that. So it very much stays specific to its color. We've got fence posts as well, which if I click on the side here, it's a picket fence. It starts as this, and then you can just extend it as so. You can also bring it around if you like to make it a bit more of a box area, which is kind of cool. And this does interact with different ones as well. So you can have that go around like that if you wanted to, which is quite nice. And then we also have the pale oak window boxes, and these are in all of the different wood types, I believe. So if we just break these off to make it easier to see, excuse me, like so, boom, we'll come up a little bit. You can see as we fly over, the different wood types are all represented here, which is awesome. I think that's quite nice. And I want to just check, yes, you can put a lantern on a table, and yes, you can put flowers in a window box, which is very, very good, potentially too. Next up then for the blocks, we also have a hanging flower pot right here. Now you'll see I have deliberately pushed this out 2 times because if you put this on here, unfortunately, you get that effect, which isn't nice. I'm not a big fan of that. So I've pushed that out like so. So just be aware that you will have that kind of an issue. Not everything's perfect. That does happen, unfortunately. So that's there. And then this here is the loamy sand, which you'll find in desert areas and will allow you to place flowers down. Because apparently, and I never knew this actually, but it makes so much sense. I just never go to a desert. If you have a sand block, like so, and even I guess sandstone could probably do it too. That's smooth sandstone. Come over here for sandstone. If we was to place these down, sand, smooth sandstone, and sandstone, we'll grab a flower. You can't actually place it down. Makes tons of sense. I've just never thought of it like that, to be fair. So awesome to have the option there. And that's all of the different blocks that you get in this add-on. But we're not finished there. Let's have a look at the different items that you get in this add-on. Now, in terms of items in the add-on, there are 2 that I could find. We have a watering can and we also have mysterious seeds. Now, the watering can, if we can go, actually, I don't need to go into survival, but I can show you. It has a durability bar. This is because that indicates how full it is with water. And if you interact with it, you can actually water your plants as you go, and it will take away the durability. Now, through testing, I haven't actually been able to see what that does, other than just gives off the impression that you're watering, but you do run out of water as you go. I can't tell if it makes things grow any faster, i.e. seeds or anything like that. I haven't been able to see, but you can also refill it. Now, we could test the seeds in a moment, because if we grab this hoe, and if we grab this bone meal just in case, we're going to place down that like so, and we're going to place down the mysterious seeds. Now, the mysterious seeds are exactly what they say they are. Who knows what's going to happen? Depending on what block you place it on, you can get different results. Some will grow crops, some will grow trees, and it will be absolutely crazy. Now, my watering can is back to being full. If I water this, like so, I can't water it when I'm hovering over it, which is a sign that it's not going to actually do anything. So I don't know if this is just more of an actual kind of quality of life thing. If I hoe it again, put the seeds in, bone meal, we now end up with crops. We could go again like this, and you can even place it down on grass, in fact. So that's kind of cool. Flowers again. Farmland is crops. So what I'm seeing here is if you place it on grass, you get flowers. Yeah, and if you place it down on farmland, you get crops like so, which even that one It's kind of mad. There you go. And then we might even get a tree depending on where we are. It's not going to be easy. But yeah, it's a mysterious seed, and it's basically rolling the dice to work out what you're going to get. And those are the items that I can see in this add-on. So why don't we go and have a look now at all of the different mobs that you get in this add-on. So in terms of the mobs then, you get 3 actual mobs, and you get that one entity that I was talking about earlier. And that is a lawnmower. And you can click on the lawnmower and you can mow your lawn. Now, I put down some flowers here. Will it actually just take them off? Oh, it does. So if you've got like an overgrown area and you don't just want to run around punching, you can grab yourself a lawnmower and you can just hit them up like so to take them all down. That's kind of cool. And then you can jump off it like you would a normal horse. Interesting. Bit of a shame that it's an entity, but maybe there's no other way to make that work. I don't know. And then for the mobs, we have got a gardener, we have got a mole, and we have got birds. So with the birds, if we spawn them in, we've got a nice little bird here. Hello, mate. How you doing? Not hearing any sound from it. No chirping. Also, no variation here. So that's a bit of a shame. We then have a mole. Again, no sound. I'm very disappointed that there's no sound. I like sound in my add-ons. I think sound is a very important way of including and carrying on that immersion factor. So that is a bit of a shame. It does put a bit of a downer on it for me. But with the mole, not really much of an animation in terms of the walk either, which is a disappointment. Get a little tail waggle though. So yeah, I mean, I prefer the flowers to the birds and the moles myself. And then lastly, we have a gardener right here. How you doing, buddy? Very much similar to how a villager would look. He's got a little backpack on. We can interact with him. And for an emerald, is that buying for an emerald? No, for flower, he will buy flowers off us for emeralds. And then he will sell flowers to us for emeralds. So he does a bit of both. Nice little trading back and forth there as well. And then we can see any variation. No, so it'll always be the same gardener. How you doing, buddy? Very, very nice. Thank you very much. And those are the mobs and I guess entities in this add-on. Why don't we go into a proper world now? And let's see what it actually looks like with the flowers spawning everywhere, with structures spawning, and how the Botanical Lexicon actually works. And so we're in a brand new world then with the gardening add-on, and we can look around straight away and immediately I'm seeing flowers. Let's get down here. We've got a pink flower down here, which if we look at it, we get a little notification. You found short grass, you found whatever that was that said a minute ago. Does it come up in the chat? No, it doesn't. But it came up to say we found a pink, whatever, what is that? A pink chrysanthemum, whatever it's called. And if we go over here, look over this one, you found a dandelion, you found an azure bluette, which admittedly could potentially get a little bit annoying in a flower garden as you're going around and you're just noticing, right, well, I've got this one, this is going to pop. I've got this one, this is going to pop. But it only pops that first time as a way of saying you filled out your lexicon, or what I like to call it, the flower Pokedex. And we can come over here and see, but you can immediately see not only do flowers spawn randomly like normal flowers would do, but so do the mobs as well. So you're not going to have to go through any weirdness of spawning in a crafting table or crafting a weird recipe to get any flowers. They spawn perfectly in here. And the book did say that it was bone mealable. So why don't we have a look at this as well? These are custom ones as we're popping off more of those. Like so, yes, they are bone mealable. So you can easily create a little flower farm here for these guys as well, which is cool. If we fly around, we want to see, are the custom mobs? Nope, they're not affecting vanilla mobs either, which is very good. Very happy with that. And then if we open the lexicon, may take a few moments depending on your device. We can go and have a look. So now I've found 12 out of 369, and you can see down here, a lot of them are red because we've not seen them. We can click into, say, the poppy, and it tells you when you've discovered it, where they were. That it's number 7 out of 369, and then about, for instance, poppies are red flowers commonly found in various biomes. They're also dropped by defeating iron golems. So a good bit of information there. I like that. And what we could even do is go into filters and just turn off everything except the Minecraft flowers, just to have a little play around with this. So if you wanted to see, maybe you're building an area, for instance, that needs white flowers, you could filter just for white flowers. Maybe you don't want any fancy flowers and you just want to look at the standard ones. So you can put a little filter in here and see which ones you haven't seen, which ones you have seen, and find out, right, what if I want, maybe I want a spore blossom. And it tells you they're large pink flowers hanging from cave ceilings in lush caves, releasing particles for ambience. I think that's quite a good little bit of features there, to be honest. So we get a structure that spawns in on the edge. Doesn't look like a ton of structures spawning in right next to each other either. So maybe they've got some good spawn mechanics. Maybe we need to fly around and find another one. But this is one of the different structures that can spawn in. There's one of 4 cottages. And sometimes it will spawn in with other buildings. We're using tuff. We're using slabs. We're using all sorts. Look, we've even seen ivy here. Open a door. Hello, mate. Gardener's just in here. He's got bone meal. He's got a watering can. He's got flowers. A lawnmower if you don't want to go and craft one yourself. He's got lily of the valleys. And then he's the gardener up here as well, just to trade with. Very nice. I'm happy with that. Let's see if we can find another cottage, shall we? See if we get a different variation of it, which could be quite nice. And just over there is another cottage spawning in. So it's a different design right here. Just on the edge of the river, some good real estate. It's got some good blending going on here as well with the white blocks and the green blocks. Also spawns with like an outhouse as well. Potentially a shed or whatever this is. Got something in the barrel, which makes it better than villages, to be fair. There's a big fire roaring in here as well, apparently. Let's pop in here, a little use of the hanging flower pot there too. And if we come under here, we've got another chest. We've got a furnace. I'm going to pop these because they're annoying for sound. Thank you very much. Got a metal flower pot in the corner there along with a table. And oh, I didn't notice that. So the table is also expandable. Oh, it can even be done. That's cool. I didn't even think to do that. That is awesome. All right. Even when I don't find things, I find things. It's stackable too. Like a little, I want to say like a bookshelf. And then lastly, because I'm releasing this video during my self-proclaimed Vibrant Visual Week, I thought we'd put Prisma Visuals texture pack on it as well. The early access build that Starfish Studios very graciously gave me access to, so we could see how the gardening add-on interacts with Prisma Visuals, the Vibrant Visual texture pack. And obviously this is more just about how it interacts with Vibrant Visual texture packs. And we can see here, so we get the flowers spawning in straight away. Now, if you haven't seen the videos on this, Vibrant Visuals adds a way for blocks to, and mobs even as well, to have a non-flat surface. So you see that here on Prisma Visuals, for instance, with the cow has some indents and embossing nature. And on the blocks over here as well, you can see it in certain lights where there's some raises and some ridges. And what we're going to be looking at here, just really quickly, is how do the custom flowers look compared to the generic ones. And here we've got a perfect example, in fact. So we can go straight to this one, which is the Oxeye Daisy. And you can see there are certain elements in the flowers where the leaves stick up, the bits stick up and go in again. And if we find ourselves a custom flower, which would be, for instance, are these ones over here custom? What we got here? This is a yellow daylily. So you can see they don't have the same raises. So all that kind of says to me is that the gardening add-on isn't currently compatible with Vibrant Visuals, and Prisma Visuals isn't applying any extra PBR, I believe is what it's called, where it's got the raises and the ridges. But from far, I don't think it looks all too terrible. It's some good color and it's not bad. I don't think you're going to break immersion with it, but, and I've said this before, you do see immediately the difference between a smoother texture and a more bumpy texture. But yeah, so that has been the gardening add-on by Podcrash. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. I think for 660 mine tokens, it's a very focused add-on. It knows exactly what it wants to be, and for the most part, it's very good. I just want to hear sounds for the gardener, the mole, and the birds. I think that'd be great. But in terms of the actual flowers, the flower pots, I think it's very, very good. And it's very, very compatible, very, very inspired by vanilla. I think it fits in with that Minecraft feel. So that's my assessment. I think it's cool. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Please do leave a like, drop that comment, hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much to my amazing channel members for always suggesting content for Channel Members Tuesday. If you want to be a channel member, just hit the join button. It doesn't matter which level you get to submit at least one suggestion every month, and we add it to the list here on Channel Members Tuesday. And if you are a channel member, get me some suggestions, texture packs, add-ons. I'll even open it up to worlds if you want. What do you want to see me feature on Tuesdays? Let me know. I want to see the creeper faces in the comments with suggestions, please. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace!